Happy Sunday morning, everybody. It's between the two holidays here and in the Simpademic, and I'm going to have a fun subject here today, and it's this. Who is your celebrity crush? I will readily admit to having one, and she is none other than the incomparable Anna Kendrick. You may recognize her from the Pitch Perfect movie series, and here's why. Other than she's a stunner, but she's hilarious as all get out, number one. And number two, she's very, very respectable as a person. And I say this because she's told a story before about the Pitch Perfect sequels, and she's being asked or even told by a director that she needed to show more cleavage in these movies. And she flat out refused. And it's basically, either you're going to let me do this my way or you're not going to have me, on, acting for you. And that's just gets mad respect. I don't know the specific details or if there's any monetary considerations on that one. I don't think she went that particular far. And the other thing that I've noticed about Anna is that she has been reasonably open with abusive relationships in the past. She hasn't mentioned any names because there's a lot of powerful men, obviously, in Hollywood who could totally destroy her career at the snap of a finger. But she has been fairly open about some of the more interesting details as far as being abused by these men. And unfortunately, what this tells me is that she is guilty of some of the same things that a lot of your typical modern women have done. So this is my realization that she's hardly perfect, because she's probably going after the Chads and the Tyrones of the world, which is how she winds up getting in these situations repeatedly. And obviously dating within Hollywood has got challenges and perils of its own. These types of men are all over the place there, and they, some of these men wield a lot of power. And so that's also another aspect of this. People who date within Hollywood generally won't go outside of it to find anybody. There are a couple of notable exceptions that I've seen out there of women who have dated regular men, but it's fairly uncommon. I'm trying to think of any examples right now. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But so anyway, that is my celebrity crush, and as I've mentioned earlier in this, I have a great deal of respect and admiration for her, but also realize that she's not perfect either, and she's definitely flawed in her own right, particularly when it comes to her choice in men. But overall, if I'm averaging everything out, she has a lot of great characteristics, extremely, extremely, extremely attractive, and at the same time, a great sense of humor. I mean, just look her up, as far as her late night TV appearances with various late night hosts. They are pretty darn funny. So all in all, a very good woman, not a perfect one. Has her share of flaws, along with the rest of us. And so I thought I would just go off track here today, just kind of share that little tidbit about myself, and use that as kind of a background for for some other subjects that I've had here. So anyway, enjoy your Sunday, everybody. My church in particular was not meeting in live and in person today because, face it, it's between the holidays. We're between Christmas and New Year's. The amount of volunteers that they need to have regular in-person church services isn't exactly small. And we, a lot of the volunteer people are traveling and visiting family, and they're going around, traveling around the country, and they're not in town. So the ability of our church in particular to pull this off is quite limited and very restricted. So I'm at home today, just enjoying a quiet afternoon as usual. It's one of the more enjoyable things. Ooh, gal. Um, I'm also enjoying